affected by drug issues or drug-related crime?
No, not directly. Not really. No.
Not directly.
Exposed to it, like friend groups and stuff, but nothing directly for me now.
I think it's kind of seen as Bristol, especially more of a kind of, in some cases, alternative to drinking, but there's extremes of it that not really been exposed to recreational use.
Yeah, it's quite a desensitised sort of atmosphere around drugs really nowadays, I think. So, yeah.
So in Brighton, 36% of adults say they use recreational drugs. Do you think that means Brighton itself has a drug problem?
Again, like I said, it sort of seems like inherent with like, the day and age we're in now. I think that's local to Brighton. I think that seems to be, from my experience of like the southwest and stuff, that seems to be a pretty common theme. A lot of like weed and stuff is like pretty part and parcel of the day life, isn't it?
Now.
Yeah, I mean obviously there's party drugs, like the A-class drugs, but that seems to be again like the general consensus on a night out nowadays. It's not so much of a taboo really, but yeah, I guess.
Maybe it's part of the social scene, maybe it's part of social circles. Or...
Yeah, obviously not being native to Brighton, I couldn't really comment on the Brighton situation, but yeah, I would say that seems pretty typical. Like,
would you say that's? Would you say it's related to the high student population?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I think, but that's more so not because they're students, more so the age group. So I'm an ex-user. I tended to use it a lot in that kind of age group. So nowadays, I'm a bit older. That's stopped. And, things are different. But I guess you could relate the two. Yeah, but that would probably be just purely because you've got maybe a higher amount of that certain age group in Brighton that's kind of affecting the figures. You never really know. It may not be like a native problem, just from people from other areas.
Yeah, also like students, I mean, you live in a sort of like a holiday atmosphere, isn't it? I guess you're like away from it, not the normal. So you have a few years where you have a bit of a blowout maybe, and then you revert.
Again, maybe that's just a social scene thing. I guess it's maybe it's more socially accepted because you're a student, and there seems to be that kind of.
It's just a hard partying atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of partying. It's going to happen, I guess. You can't really fault for that. It's just an alternative, as I say, to drinking in some cases, depending obviously on kind of the type of drugs taken.
Yeah, I think when it persists past like 20 years old is when you start to see the difference between people who have a casual habit and where you see people who have a problem potentially.
So of the people that like, attend sessions for help with drug abuse, the majority of these are men. Do you have any kind of idea as to why that might be?
Men generally do like to get more wasted than girls for some reason. That's always been the case.
Maybe a macho thing, maybe a competitive thing. You're kind of like, oh, look how much I can do, look how drunk I can get. It's almost something like bragging rights. So maybe that is, maybe that's repeatedly doing that something that's going to make you develop more problems. It becomes then so much of your life that I guess then it's hard for that to stop.
I think it's definitely like more of a peaks and troughs sort of thing. With blokes you seem to see a lot more of the emphasis on it. Like it's not so much about like casual. It's got to be like there's always a guy in there like in your friend group or year group who's like the wreckhead, and like it used to be like there's a guy who's always on it.